Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this Explain 11 video. Based on popular demand, we are flying the MD-80 by RotateSim today, service from Copenhagen to London Heathrow. We are flying Scandinavian Airlines today, flight 165. Our approximate flight time today is 1 hour and 30 minutes, and we will be cruising at 34,000 feet. We are going to be departing runway 30 today at Kastrup Airport, and therefore the aircraft has been situated at the cargo area for closer proximity to our departing runway. Here is a quick look at our flight path. We are going to be departing Kastrup to London Heathrow through the Lango 2 Delta SID, and we're going to take a quick look here. This is our SID here, the Lango 2D, runway 30. As you can see, we are going to be departing on a heading of 286 degrees, and then we're going to make a left turn on 221 degrees and exit the departure SID at the Lango transition. All right, let's go ahead and add some fuel to the aircraft. According to our flight plan, we're going to need 9,200 kilos of fuel. The trip fuel is 5,200, and I have added some passengers to the forward and after sections of the aircraft, 45, 55, and then we've added 500 kilos of cargo in sections A and B, and 1,000 kilos in sections C and D. Everything looks good here, and the total flight time is 1 hour 43 minutes. And the distance is 578 nautical miles. So we're going to go ahead and say start loading fuel, start loading cargo, and start loading passengers. Next thing up, we're going to go ahead and start our batteries. Battery is on, start pump is on, and we'll go ahead and start the APU. Right. EGT now is rising, and we're going to wait for the APU to become available, and then we'll proceed with the cockpit preparation. The APU is now available, so we're going to go ahead and switch on the APU.
Autopilot.
APU buses are on, and we're going to turn the air condition, or the APU bleed, if you will. All right, and we're going to come over here now, arm the emergency lights. Non-smoking signs are on, seatbelt signs are on, and we're going to put this on the captain position. And we're going to turn on the anti-fog. Now there are a series of tests that you can perform. I'm going to skip those just in the interest of time. And we're going to go ahead and turn on the air supply. And let's see here. Yaw damper, you can turn that on. And everything looks good here. Okay, so we're going to move down here to the glare shield, and we're going to set our altitude, which is 34,000 feet. Let's go ahead and verify that real quick. Yep, 34,000 feet. And you can do this in two ways. You can either pull your mouse that way with the left mouse button clicked, or simply hover over here and use the mouse wheel. And that's what I'm going to do throughout this video. All right, 34,000 feet. Flight directors are on, and we'll come and set up the rest of the information once we finish programming the FMC. Let's go ahead and turn on the lights here. Okay, we'll set this to takeoff EPR, and we're going to move down here now, and let me turn this on. And we're going to turn on our hydraulics. Okay, we can see now hydraulic pressure. And we are going to turn on the pneumatic pressure as well. We need this right before engine start up. We'll go ahead and set it now. And now we are pretty much ready to start programming the FMC. As you can see, the fuel is loading. It's going to take some time for the fuel to load, so let's go ahead and start programming the FMC. Okay. Cycle is okay. This is the latest AROC cycle, 1812. So we'll go to position initialization. Our departing airport is Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. And we have to now set the IRSs. So we'll go ahead here and set the IRS to align. Alright, and let's select the position. We go to route. Our destination today is London Heathrow, Echo Golf Lima Lima. It should provide for a nice entry into Great Britain from the east. We'll be approaching London Heathrow from the east. It should be a nice scenic approach into London Heathrow. And the flight number today is Scandinavian, which is SAS 165. And then we're going to go to the departure, and we're going to be departing today runway 30 through the Lango 2 Delta. Next page, Lang 2D, that's the one. And then we're going to go to route, and now we're going to start entering our flight plan. I'm going to show you guys the first one, and then I'm going to go ahead and edit the rest. We are now ready to enter the remainder of our. We are now ready to enter the rest of our flight plan. I'm going to do the first waypoint, and then, in the interest of time, move to the last one. So let's go ahead and take a look here. That's the Lang 2D to the Lango transition, and then it's airway Mike 611 to EGLL M611 to EGLL. And next page. Our route is now entered into the FMC, and let's go ahead and select our approach and arrival into London Heathrow. So we are going to be arriving into London Heathrow through the BE1 Echo Star, and the approach is runway 9er left, I believe. We'll check here. Yes, 9er left. ILS 9er left through the big transition and route. Let's go ahead and check our legs page now. We'll just make sure that there are no discontinuities. We will not be able to activate the route until the IRSs are fully aligned, which they're not at the moment. But we can go to the initial reference page. We'll go to performance, and we are going to set our fuel, gross weight. Reserve is about 1.2, and the cost index is 55. Cruise altitude is 34,000 feet. And let's get our cruise wind data. So we can use 212 at 35 knots, 212 degrees, 35 knots. Enter that here. And the temperature is 7 degrees Celsius. So we'll enter that here. Transition altitude is 7,000 feet. And let's go to takeoff. And we'll put 7 here. And the V1 is 138, 144 for V rotate, and 152 for V2. Okay, the cost, the center of gravity is 22. So we're going to come over to this side here, and we'll set this to 22. And flaps today, flaps 15 for departure. That gives us a trim of 4. So let's set the trim. Okay, the trim is set and everything appears to be ready. It looks like the IRSs are now aligned. So we'll come over here, we'll go to the index page, performance. Alright, so we can now activate our flight plan and execute, and everything is now programmed into the FMC. Let's go ahead and switch to plan, and we'll take a look at our flight plan now. So step, that's our departure from Kastrup, Lango, and this is Deagle. There, that's Pam. Everything is looking good. This is our top of descent. And this is the big transition, and there's a funny turn here, but it looks pretty much like the approach charts. And then we're going to make the turn to runway 09er left at London Heathrow. Okay, so everything is looking good in terms of our flight plan. There are no discos. We'll switch this back to map. And everything is ready for engine start now. So what we'll do, we'll summon the ground services. First, let us make sure we grab the altimeter. We can, by the way, grab the altimeter and the wind information from our flight plan. But we'll just go ahead and do it here. The altimeter is 3015. Let me just show you this real quick. So if we go to the flight plan and we go to the weather information, so this is our departure airport, and this is the altimeter. The information is a bit different from what we have in the flight plan. 1020. So we'll do that here, 1020. Okay, which is approximately what we've got in the weather information from the X-plane map. Okay, altimeter is set. We are going to now dismiss all the ground handling equipment. So we're going to go to plugins, ground handling, drive away all. There we go. And everything is going to start driving away now from the aircraft. And what we can do is we can start closing the doors. So we're close, retract, load cargo, let's say expedite. Okay, cargo is now loaded, and we're going to close the cargo and the aft doors. Okay, all right, we are now ready for engine start. So I'm going to turn on the anti-collision light, and we're going to go ahead and call the pushback, better pushback. Start
Ground
pushback.
to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
All right, here's where we want to go, right there.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, while the tow is on its way, we need to turn off the air supply here for engine start. Now we're going to open the guards, and we're going to switch to System A. We no longer need, we need to turn on the fuel. So we do have a little bit of fuel in the center tank. So I'm going to turn on all our fuel pumps. Yeah, we no longer need the start pump, so we can turn that off.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, we're ready to release the parking brake. Let's go ahead and set the speed to V2, which is 152. All right, let's release the parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, and let's see here. Everything here looks good, so we're going to go ahead and start the engine, the right engine first. All right, and that's good enough. We're going to go ahead and give it some fuel. All right, we have a good start on the right engine. Let's go ahead and start the left engine. Oops. Let's go ahead and start the left one now. And as you can see now, the left engine is now spooling. As you can see, we have pretty heavy fog here, but it shouldn't be a problem. We should be all right. All right, let's go ahead and give it some fuel here.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, looks like we have a good start on the left engine as well. All right, here we go. Generators have kicked in, and what we can do is now system is off, ignition is off, We'll close the guards. And let's see here. Everything's good here. We're going to turn off the APU. The generators have now kicked in. Alright, disconnect the tow. We no longer need the APU. We can start the air conditioning again. And we can turn off the pneumatic pressure. An auto brake to reject a takeoff. And we're going to set flaps 15.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. Alright. And the speed brake is armed. And we're going to go ahead and turn on our floodlights, wing lights, and the strobes. Now the strobes will not actually turn on until after the aircraft is airborne. And we're going to set those to taxi mode. Okay, everything's looking good now. Let me just make sure. Yep, the flaps are set to flaps 15. And we are now ready to go. So we'll clear the master caution and take a final look here to make sure everything's good, which it is. And let's go ahead and taxi to the runway. Release parking brake. And let's give it some power. We are now at the hold short position, runway 30, and let's go ahead and introduce a little bit of lights here because I think things are getting pretty dark here. Let's see, panel, floodlights, that's much better. Alright, let's set our lights for takeoff, and everything here looks good. Okay, now before we take off, what we can do is we can just push the, release the parking brake and max power just to make sure you get no warnings. And it looks like there are no warnings, and that will tell you that everything is set up correctly. So flaps 15, the speed brake is armed, landing lights are on, and we can now go ahead and take off. Alright, let's line up with the runway.
On runway 30.
Alright, we are ready to go. We're going to give it a little bit of power here. And we're going to push the TOGA button. As you can see now, it says takeoff. And 1.2. And we're going to turn on the auto throttle. We're going to watch our speed. Airspeed is active. Knots. 144. Rotate. And positive rate of climb. Gears going up. So we can see where we're going. Alright, and we're going to maintain the 10-degree pitch there. Flaps up. Or actually flaps 11. And we begin our turn. Continue to climb. And we move to flaps 5. Now we click on climb, and we're going to turn on the autopilot, VNAV, and nav. We exceeded the 250. I should have eased off on the throttle a bit there, or increased pitch. So it wasn't a very smooth climb there. But as you can see now, this is matching the charts. Here we can take a look at the chart. That's us right there. As you can see, we've departed Kastrup, and this is the airway CH399, or waypoint CH399, and we should now begin a left turn heading 221 degrees for the Lango 2 Delta SID. I'll make this smaller here, and you can see now that we are making the turn. There you go. Really a nice tool, the SimLink Connect by Navigraph. Alright, so we're going to continue our climb now. We are approaching our transition altitude of 7,000 feet. Alright, let's go ahead and set the altimeter to standard, which is 2992 or 1013. And we can now disengage the speed brake, disarm the speed brake. Auto brake can go to off. And we can now enjoy the flight. We just passed 10,000 feet, so we can go ahead and turn off our lights now. Lights are off. And we don't need the wing lights anymore. We don't need the floodlights. And everything is looking good now. We are continuing our steady climb to 34,000 feet, and at this point I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight, and we'll check back with you as soon as we level off. We are now cruising at 34,000 feet. I have set the cruise mode on, as you can see here, and we are approximately 345 nautical miles from top of descent. All aircraft systems are currently operational per design intent. Many of you guys have been asking me about X-Vision. What preset do I use? What are my thoughts? What do I think is the future for X-Vision? Now, I cannot really say much about the future of X-Vision because I don't know what the developers have in mind. What I do know is that X-Vision uses or modifies the shaders of X-Plane 11, and this is something that Laminar Research recommends against, as a matter of fact, simply because it's not available as part of the SDK, and it is something that they don't guarantee that they don't change entirely. So whatever X-Vision does, I think will be subject to chance, whether it works or doesn't work, or will they be able to continue to modify the shaders to make them work with X-Plane 11. So far, they've been doing a great job. I think X-Vision is a brilliant plugin. It changes the shaders, color skies, clouds, the actual shadow casted by the clouds and the objects. It really gives the sim a realistic look. There are a lot of presets out there. Some of them are really, really well done. I use the immersive preset without the Lua script. There are two by default that come with the installation. I think there's more than two, but the ones I like the most are the immersive and immersive for Lua. The difference between the two is not that great in terms of the visuals, so you get pretty much the same thing with the immersive preset. The shadows look a lot better with the immersive preset for Lua, but the immersive preset with Lua costs about 10 frames more than the immersive preset, which I think is not really a great bargain when it comes to visual enhancement versus performance, and that's the reason I always use the immersive preset. So I'm going to create a short guide for you guys during the week, perhaps in a 10-minute video or so. Okay, so we are approximately 283 nautical miles now from our top descent. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight, and we'll check back with you right before our top of descent. Enjoy the flight. Welcome back, folks. We are approximately 50 nautical miles from our top of descent point. So we're going to begin preparing the aircraft for our approach into London Heathrow. We're going to head over to the FMC and we're going to go to the initial reference and approach. And we're going to set the ILS frequency in the course to 110.3, which is already set. And we're going to set the course to 90 degrees, which is our approach course. 90 degrees and 110.3 on this side as well, and 90 degrees for our course. Alright, and we're going to set about 5 knots for wind correction. So 5, and we're going to enter that here and execute. And that will give us a final reference VREF speed of 127 knots at flaps 40, which is going to be our flap setting today into London Heathrow. Alright, so we are pretty much set now. The platform altitude for runway 09er left at London Heathrow is 2,500 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the MCP altitude here to 2,500. Alright, MCP altitude is set, and we will worry about the altimeter as soon as we are nearing our transition altitude, which is 6,000 feet in the London area. Alright, so we're getting close now to our destination. I'll switch back here to legs. Let's actually make... So we are at 37 nautical miles now from our top of descent. We can see the top of descent mark here on the display. And so in approximately 36 nautical miles we'll begin the descent, and the aircraft should begin the automatic descent using VNAV descent to 2,500 feet. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. And as you can see now, the aircraft has begun the automatic descent. So VNAV descent is now enabled and the aircraft has begun descending. This is the United Kingdom right ahead of us. And of course I have the Orbex scenery installed, which should make for an interesting approach into London Heathrow. Our platform altitude once again is 2,500 feet. And I'm going to go ahead and consult our flight plan here. For the weather information at London Heathrow, the altimeter is 1009. Weather conditions are fine. Everything's looking good. There is a slight crosswind, but nothing too serious. Few clouds at 3,500 feet. Okay, so visibility might be an issue, but I think everything appears to be good for our approach. It doesn't seem like it's going to be an involved approach into London Heathrow, but we'll see what happens as we approach the airport. The Orbex Great Britain scenery is definitely going to make for an interesting approach here into London Heathrow. Things are looking pretty good. And we continue our descent to 2,500 feet. Momentarily, what we're going to do... Oh, by the way, we need to change this to CL. Alright, so momentarily what we're going to do is we're going to switch to FMS override. Let me just take a quick look at our speed here. 250, so we're doing fine. But what we're going to do momentarily is we're going to go to FMS override so that we can control the speed. Alright, let's go ahead and set our auto brake to medium, and we're going to extend or arm the speed brake. And now everything is looking good for our approach. Alright, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and use FMS override, and I'm going to reduce our speed to 220 knots. There we go. We just passed 10,000 feet to 9,000, and we're going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights. And the airport is, by the way, to our right now. Now we're going to turn the wing lights, floodlights, all lights. There we go. And let's take a look here. So we are continuing our descent. We need to be at 7,000 in about 9 nautical miles. I think we're still doing good. Our speed continues to decrease to 220 knots. We can extend the speed brakes, but I think we're fine. Yeah, I think we should be fine. Alright, let's quickly grab the altimeter, and I am going to use the map this time. We are pretty close to the airport. That's the airport right there. That's London Heathrow. And we'll go to details, and it says 2979er. Okay. Alright, we continue our descent. We are a bit too high, I think. We need to be at 3,500 feet. But I think the situation will correct itself momentarily. We are a bit too fast too. So I'm going to extend the speed brakes a bit here. We need to set the altimeter to 2979er, which is about the same information that we received in our flight plan, which is 1009. So we are looking good for the approach. Our speed is reducing now. I'm going to go ahead and reduce our speed now to 205. Yeah, we are a bit, we're a bit too high, but I think the situation will correct itself momentarily here as we reduce our speed. And we're going to go to flaps 11 now, and we're going to start reducing. There we go. Here's our turn, and we're gonna now go ahead and reduce our speed to 180 knots.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Let's silence the alarm. And we're gonna go to flaps 15. Yeah, as you can see, our altitude is kind of fixing itself now as we reduce our speed. And I'm going to go ahead at this point and click on ILS, lock track, localizer track. So the localizer is captured. And we'll wait for 15. We are at 15, and we are at the glide slope at the moment. The runway is right ahead of us now, and we're going to start reducing our speed.
Landing gear.
Yep. All right. Landing gear is going down. All right. Let me just very quickly verify our speed here. Flaps 40 and 126 knots. All right. Let's go ahead and reduce our speed to 150 knots now. Flaps 28. We're a bit too high, but here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the speed to 128. Is actually 126. Alright, and I am going to kill the autopilot, and I will just take over as we are too high. runway is right ahead of us now. I'm going to bring the yoke back. Yep. We should be able to correct our altitude there.
Oh.
1,000 feet to go.
Approaching 09 left.
A little bit of crosswind there. We're doing good.
500.
500 feet.
$400.
400 feet.
300. 200.
A little bit of
100.
starters there. Let's kill the auto throttle.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And touchdown. Reversers around. And welcome to London Heathrow, ladies and gentlemen. Knots and manual braking, and we are going to make a turn, make a full stop, and we'll take a look at our landing momentarily.
5,000 feet remaining.
All right, let's make a turn here, and let's take a look at our landing. Our landing was not a bad landing, it was alright, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.